Hello everyone and very big welcome to my channel Heidi's Corner with me, Heidi, and that direction is Katja joining me. Yes, exactly there.
Hello.
Who might you be?
What?
Who might you be? Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Katja and I'm Heidi's partner. I've been here a couple of times before on Heidi's channel, but for those who have not seen my face before, yeah.
Excellent. I will provide. Could you mute your mic while you're not? Okay, I'll. Okay, excuse me. She's in the other room and she doesn't have headphones. Excuse me. So, anyway, I think I forgot to specifically link the specific shows she's been on my channel, but you will find those links in the description box below after the show. I will add them. Won't I won't bother doing it now because now I figured time to spend it's that time to spend time on the topic tonight, which is a court decision from Croatia is now backing the same-sex adoption for same-sex couples, which is wonderful. Let's have a look. Okay, from there, I'll just, if you'll excuse me, I'll just zoom in. Okay, so the Zagreb Administrative Court has now backed an LGBTQ plus couple who had complained after their adoption request was rejected by the authorities. And the court went on to say that same-sex couples should not face discrimination in state adoption. I think this is good news for same-sex couples, not just in Croatia, but elsewhere, because here an administrative court has taken the stand that yes, queer couples should have the ability to adopt, where just the same as cis straight couples. Katja, what is your take on this particular decision by the court and the after effects it may have?
Um, well, I'm not like so familiar with Croatia as such. But I think, as what I've read also in the article, that it's a quite conservative country when it comes to LGBTQ people. So it's definitely, I guess, a good step forward, as they do not have equal marriage yet, or same-sex marriage.
Yes, and
That's my
regarding
concern.
that, and regarding the same-sex marriage and how conservative the Croatian it as a country is, I might or might not have, if I happen to have any viewers from Croatia, just please could you elaborate a bit more further? As Katja said, as far as I can tell, and she can tell, Croatia is a somewhat conservative country. However, um, this decision by Zagreb administrative court is a pivotal moment in the LGBTQ plus human rights in Croatia, and make also as it says in the first paragraph, a court in Croatia has ruled that same-sex adoption should be legalized and allowed under same conditions as opposite-sex couples, which is big. So this is not the Zagreb administrative court did not just take a stand in the issue involving this LGBTQ plus couple. Croatia's Labor Families Association has hailed the decision as quote unquote historic ruling, which it is. This is a step forward. Same-sex couples have had issues with adoption, and how do you feel as being LGBTQ plus yourself and being in a relationship with a trans woman? How do you feel about in general about the opposition to same-sex marriage or LGBTQ plus couples being able to adopt children?
Well, I think, even if it's like legal, as in Finland, it's legal, but in practice, it's quite hard, except if you adopt like within the country, but international adoption at least isn't really an option. But I guess that has decreased also among all couples in recent years, as most countries are primarily seeking to find to do the adoption within their countries, which is, I guess, a good thing. But yeah, I mean,
So, regardless of how difficult it is for LGBTQ plus couples to adopt, here we still have. But here we have adopted my regular co-host Bertil, and of course the other co-host Stefan. Hey. So, yes, it's primarily so many countries from which couples adopt children tend to be countries who refuse to give kids to regardless of how well off these people are, financial wise especially, if the couples are LGBTQ plus, because these countries are, I won't start naming those because I don't want to go into world politics. But hey, it's still an issue because some countries don't give adoption kits to queer couples. But however, Croatia has now has taken a step forward. Okay, I'll take this up. Okay, now So Croatia's Rainbow Families Association has hailed the decision as "quote unquote" historic ruling, uh, for saying going further in their statement to say as follows, and I quote: "This verdict opens the door to all life partners in the Republic of Croatia who want to become adoptive parents, and guarantees them that they must not be discriminated against on the basis of their sexual orientation," they say in their statement. And further, uh, I am sorry I'm going to butcher these names, but Mladen Gosic and Ivo Segota originally. This is the other couple. So these are the couple. They took the complaint. Yeah, it's taken 5 years. I'm not surprised that it has taken 5 years for such a complaint to go through. Um, they put it forth 5 years ago after a social welfare center rejected their request to undergo evaluation as possible adoptive parents just because they were in a partnership. And I take this as partnership, meaning being an unmarried same-sex couple. So not being able to even undergo the assessment. If this happened to us as a couple, how far would you go to these lengths to be able to go into the evaluation as possible adoptive parents? How far would you go? This far, or even further, if necessary?
Yeah, definitely. If that was the
Yeah.
case, I would.
So would I. I mean, not being able to go through such assessment and having kids, it would be devastating to me, at least, just because um, I
Yeah,
am
there
who
is
I am.
basically no reason for it, because even research shows that the genders of the parents, it doesn't matter for
It doesn't matter.
children's well-being. So the only reason to not have it is just ignorance and yeah,
Ignorance and
and
personal incredulity, to say
personal
that.
opinions.
Yeah.
But it's when it comes to like
Yeah.
the real
Personal
world.
incredulity and not willing to uh, understand, or willingly misunderstand
Mm.
the these issues.
Yeah, I actually looked up this topic a bit and on the wonderful Wikipedia. It even listed the arguments that people have both for adoption and against. And it says like the ones against is just religion. Then some people just say that children need a mom and a dad. And that they assume that one gender can teach certain things to their children that the other gender can't. And some people think that children raised in same-sex parenting household will more likely experience gender and sexual disorder. Well, what the hell is even gender or sexual disorder?
Issues with i.e. gender dysphoria, being transgendered, some sort of, well, being not cisgender.
Yeah, so some even claim that that could have an effect.
Yes,
And
I
then,
know there are
which I
people
mean,
who
these are just claims. There are not any
some
proof
there's
of these claims.
some some ignorant woo peddlers going on their rants.
Yeah, and then the final one is there are a lot of thoughts about typical gender roles, including what a mother and father should do in the house, as well as women needing to domesticate men.
Mhm.
I didn't really get this point, but yeah.
You're not domesticating a dog from a wolf. That
What
was
does I don't even understand that point had to do with the adoption part, but it was listed there. Um,
such a
but
whoever
yeah,
made that statement is an absolute dick. Um,
what is this?
what is
Yeah.
there is no basis on
But it is.
such claims.
Let's see the source here. 10 arguments from social science against same-sex marriage
Oh,
from the Family Research Council.
is that so? Yes.
Oh, number one, children hunger for their biological parents. Oh my god, this is really toxic.
Excuse me.
Uh,
That shouldn't be the
then
case.
then it comes children needs fathers, and then children needs mothers.
Why? What
Uh,
is the basis for that? Where did they get this such statements? I mean, so when it comes to these sorts of statements, sources needed, please. I mean, I
like who has even
it's
written these things? It is sorry, but Washington. Okay, this sounds. This text is
and
just really retarded, but yeah.
uh, we have a comment from Rianne. No one truly thinks about children having loving parents. It's all about prejudices and a sense of controversy. Nothing about facts, psychology, raising children, love.
Mm.
Rianne, you're right. I mean, I couldn't. Most likely, I couldn't have said it better myself. Uh, it's about love and
Yeah,
being a good parent to the child.
yeah. I
That's
think the
all that
same.
matters.
Yeah, I think the same goes for raising a child. Uh, is like so many parents are trying like their best to be a good parent, but in the end, what matters or what matters to the child itself is the love part and caring. Having a caring parent is the main important thing. There is like as long as that parent cares and is present, that's really all that matters. Yeah.
I have a question to those who oppose this. This. Sorry. Okay. So I have a question to those who oppose this issue or the idea um, of same-sex couples or LGBTQ plus couples adopting a child together, and to those who use these tactics, these toxic tactics and commentary. Let me give you an idea, some food for thought. A child lives in a home where one or both parents are cis straight male and female, cis straight man and a woman, but one or both of them has issues with substance abuse and one or both parents beat the crap out of the child, and eventually hopefully this child is taken into foster care and later adopted by a family with similar issues, or just some other issue which is harmful to the child, and so on. But initially there would have been an option for this child to be adopted to an LGBTQ plus couple. Would you take this child from an abusive home, which is traumatic to this child? Would you take this child and give it to the same-sex couple, who are both don't have history of substance abuse, domestic violence of any kind? They are financially well off and would be loving parents. Would you give this child to this LGBTQ plus couple? I would. If I was this child, I would gladly go to this queer couple and live happily ever after with them, instead of being in a toxic, abusive household. So, you Woo Peddler, what would you do? If you're watching this, comment down below, please, and give your response to this. So, going forward, we have a comment from Ariane. I'm a special needs teacher and coach for parents needing advice in raising their kids. There's absolutely no proof, none whatsoever, that kids with LGBTQ plus parents are worse off. A steady, loving home with caring parents is everything they need. Well, here we go. What she says. Read it, and what she says. Those Woo Peddlers and everyone else, read what she says. What Rianne writes down. Read it and think about it. Anyway, moving forward, this article. Even though, this couple, Mladen and Ivo, felt that it was discriminatory, which it is, as even individuals can adopt it in Croatia, and they took legal action, which then led up to this verdict we are discussing here tonight, which, even though it took 5 years, it's wonderful to have such a verdict. The president from the Rainbow Family Association, Daniel Martinovic, said to the media as follows, and I quote, "We are very happy because of this verdict, not only because of Mladen and Ivo, but also because of all the other couples who are considering adoption and who want to expand their family in that way," says Daniel Martinovic to the media. And most likely those who know how to pronounce these names will probably let me know in the comment sections. And this article goes on to say that the ruling the ruling is not yet final, as it could be appealed by the country's Ministry of Labour, Pensions, Family and Social Policy. That is quite a mouthful for a ministry. But there has been no indication as of yet that this will happen. And mind you, this article is from May 7th of this year. So today, yes, it's from last week Friday. So yes, and it goes on to say that there has been no indication as to that with regards to whether or not the ministry will appeal this decision. And the couple has Mladen and Ivo have already been a center of legal action which overturned Croatia's ban on same-sex couples fostering children earlier this year. This couple are my heroes in this field. They are my heroes, because they've gone through these two huge legal battles. It's quite something, isn't it, Katja? I mean, I would have been exhausted halfway through. Even though,
and especially just the process of adopting is tough as it is. So, well, I hope that they one day will be able to adopt, although that in itself is a very difficult process. But,
and difficult and a long process.
yeah.
How do you? And it will take time. At least here in Finland, it might take years, and it will take years. Whether it be within the family, or from out abroad, or from domestically, it's a long process. So, oops. As mentioned, Croatia is a conservative, predominantly Catholic country. So, as said previously, there's a reason as to why it's so damn difficult, and it has increased. As it here says, that civil union has been legal since 2014, as it says, that gave almost the same rights to same-sex couples. Almost. It's not. Almost isn't good enough, is it? In with this regard, it's not enough, is it? What do you think, Katja? No. We had, we just. It's been way long. It's way long overdue that they got this kind of decision. And going forward, however, there is still a hostile atmosphere towards many LGBTQ plus people. In February, an effigy of 2 men and a child was burnt at a festival in southern Croatia. In 2013, almost two-thirds of Croatian voted in a 2013 referendum in favor of motion that enshrined marriage in the country's constitution as in the constitution, come on, as between a man and a woman. And Martinovic from the Rainbow Family Association goes on to say, we're still witnessing discrimination and struggle does not end. Will it ever? I mean, I think this is a big leap forward.
Yeah.
What if it's? I mean, it's difficult. It's hard enough to be to try to have kids as like in any shape or form, as an LGBTQ plus couple, but let alone to adopt. I do. How do you feel about if you? How far would you go if all of a sudden Finland decided to ban adoption for LGBTQ plus couples, prohibiting us from adopting? How would you feel if our government went on to ban this kind of stuff from us, like adopting kids altogether?
Well, I would take it to European human rights courts.
Yeah, it's a wonder this couple in question didn't already do that. So yeah. So in this kind of notion or big step forward would is always good to hear. But what do you think in this kind of situation? What would be the next step? Which direction would you go from if we were in the same situation? Which direction would you go to at this point after having this decision and the government not appealing the court decision? Would you still go on to adopt, or would you just be too exhausted to then go through the evaluation and such?
Well, it depends, of course, like how long you've been trying. Of course, it could be that you're so exhausted that maybe you're just happy that you made way for other people to fulfill their dreams of having a family and be content with that, or maybe find other ways of parenting if adoption is really a struggle. But yeah, and I would like to mention that, especially for gay male couples, I mean, there aren't really many options for them to have children. So
yeah,
that's why I think it's important. Like adoption is important. Like for me personally, I mean, because I'm a woman and I'm I am able to give birth. Adoption isn't like personally something I've been thinking much about, but because I have kind of the privilege, the biological privilege of having more options. I can also adopt and also try to get a biological child, but for those who cannot give birth themselves, it's more. So that's, yeah. And I think not just adoption, that in the future maybe there will be even more diverse ways, but I think that's still quite a long way to go. But
Yes, it's still a long way to go. And having if need be, the fertility treatments are still, it is a long process to go through, and I hope that at one point in Croatia, in Finland, it's possible for lesbian couples or couples who are both legally female to have fertility treatment together. This has not always been the case.
yeah, in the public health care,
Yes, that is
we
in
have been
public healthcare. Yes.
able to do it in private healthcare, but not public one.
Yes, it's possible to do that in both systems right now, fortunately. And there is actually Two Moms and Twins. There's a YouTube channel, Two Mothers and Twins, but it's in Finnish only, so only Finnish viewers. If we have Finnish viewers, just go to YouTube channel Kaksi äitiä ja kaksoset. It's a wonderful channel. Katja has been showing their videos to me, and they're really sweet. They're really sweet.
Yeah.
But
I wish they would have some subtitles, something, because their story is, I think it would be very inspiring for many.
Mm-hmm.
To see an example of same-sex family or a family with same-sex parents.
Yes, it just goes to show. It goes to show that how even that same-sex couples can be loving parents regardless of their gender. Even if you have two moms, your moms can be loving.
Yeah. And another point is that usually for same-sex couples, it's a bit more difficult to get children. So that means that no children are adopted
accidents
or made by mistake, and that's because that's why we have children that needs to be adopted in the first place, because of people just making children, not being able to take care of them. So
because same-sex couples don't just multiply by accident.
Yeah,
I would assume it's always intentional.
So that's that kind of takes away everyone which might not be able to do it or not want to do it or not interested. So I think that in a way makes them even more motivated parent, like as someone who just accidentally popped out
a baby.
Yeah.
It's so not being able to have kids. It's something that shouldn't be taken for granted. If you truly want kids, it shouldn't be. Or being able to, being able to in the first place shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's not something that should be taken for granted, because it's many people just physically cannot have kids due to physical limitations of their body. Some women can't produce eggs, which or cannot are infertile, or just cannot physically become pregnant for whatever reason. There are men who just, for a reason or another, have something physical going on downstairs, hindering them unable to have kids of their own. As Katja said, the kids that same-sex couples / LGBTQ plus couples are always intentional, or typically intentional. If an LGBTQ plus couple end up having a child or children, you can't make that by accident, you know. If you have genitals that produce eggs and sperm, and that when those go together, children, listen, that's how it goes. But if it's a straight couple, things can happen. But what do you think if you weren't physically able to have your own biological kids, which you are, but if you weren't and you were, how would you feel? Would it be something that you would envy with regards to others who can, and then hence due to that go on to seek fertility treatment, even if it was alone or with a same-sex couple or a partner?
Yeah, well, we recently had on Saturday, day before Mother's Day, there was the day for people, but I don't know the word in English, childless day.
Childless Day.
The
yes.
day of the childless. I don't know if it was like internationally recognized as well, but at least in Finland we had this day. And so yeah, there was on social media also many really tragic stories, and some even like Finnish celebrities kind of coming out and telling their story, and how, you know, you should never maybe ask certain questions because you cannot assume what the other one is going through. But yeah, to answer your question, that yeah, I would definitely feel probably that why is my body like this, or why can't I produce like the ones, or feel like there's something wrong with me, and envy those who can, and feel like it's unfair. So I think that's probably has a lot of strong feelings
Yes, I would assume so. But
involved.
yeah, now that it was Mother's Day, I understand that Mother's Day is a bit on bit different days in different countries, but it was
At
here
least in
on.
US they had
Yeah.
on Sunday as well.
Yes, we had
But
that.
maybe other
Yeah, we had
European.
that in Finland. Yes, but I think it's wonderful that now Croatian couples or LGBTQ couples can, uh,
Yeah,
as as a result of this
yeah.
court
I think.
decision from
Mm,
Zagreb. So it's
yeah. Overall, I feel like because, for example, there was like in Japan a court decision about same sex marriage.
yes,
That's also not constitutional or something like that. So I think these kind of legal markings are really important, and that's maybe something that should be done more. That these things should just be taken to court because it's quite simple that they don't. Everybody should have the same human rights or
hmm
be on
yes.
equal page. I
The
mean, it's not really. I feel like it's not never should be, and a political question. Uh, it's just a human rights question, and that belongs to the
exactly.
court, not politicians.
hmm Exactly. It's you are very right.
It's not on a.
It's not a matter of opinion. It's not matter of a political debate. This court decision you mentioned from Japan, a Japanese court. I can't remember which part of the country, but the court ruling was that the ban it was banned. Same-sex marriage was banned in Japan previously, but this court ruled that the ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional, and it was some higher up court, if I remember correctly. It was some higher up uh, court that made this which court in Japan, then whichever court makes these kinds of decisions to take a part in the discussion what is constitutional and what is not. Uh, so this kind of court took the stand that the ban on same-sex marriage is illegal or unconstitutional, and in this case, the Zagreb Administrative Court took the stand that it's not that the ban of same-sex LGBTQ plus couples adopting is not legal. Things like this. I think these kind of family related pieces of legislation will these LGBTQ plus phobic anti-LGBTQ plus pieces of legislation will be going down in Western countries and in more developed countries elsewhere like Japan and South Korea. How far do you think Japan? This is a bit off topic, but now that we mentioned Japan, how much forward do they still have to go in Japan in this regard?
Well, uh, it this was like a single thing, but I don't know. In a way, I wouldn't keep my hopes too high yet. That I don't think everything is gonna change overnight because of people haven't followed the news after this. This was some a while ago, so I
It's
haven't
been a few months.
seen what is the latest take on this. If there has been any updates, but I think in general, mm, there are there are, I guess, varied opinions. But in general, I don't feel like Japanese is very against same-sex marriage as such, but certain things are maybe a bit like taboo, or it's like hard to talk about certain topics in with your family or something that you kind of hide in the closet, I think. But in general, I don't think that there maybe is such a strong opposition as in some Christian countries, perhaps. Mm, yeah.
Right, you are. Now, I think we have perhaps 5 minutes or so to go for tonight. Um, People, please comment. We had Rianne, Rianne already commenting wonderful things. Um, Now, if you could please ask questions before now live before we go before we go for tonight, um, or comment on the subject, um, and so um, anyway, about now that we are almost done here for tonight. Um, Now that we are almost done here, I would like to shill my stuff. There will be, as I promised, I'll add the links to the previous streams I've had with Katya, and there will also be links in the description box to my Facebook page, my channel's Facebook page. There is season 1 playlist. I have the season 2 Monday news, or which includes today Tuesday news. Then there will be the link for Friday Facts playlist and special files playlist, which is a special playlist with programs with special people and special topics, and which don't fit into season 1, 2, or Friday Facts. And Sunday specials is a concept that won't be every Sunday. It will go live. There will be a Sunday special every here and there, and the first Sunday special was with Katya. We were opening up and tasting Japanese snacks, and there is the links to my Discord servers. My Discord servers are Hades Corner, which is, as the name would suggest, my channel's server. And then there's the LGBT plus safe space server. Link to that. It's a server for LGBT, for meant to be a safe space for LGBT plus people. Rianne saying, I think the most religious country is I think the more religious a country is, the more rooted in religion, it's harder to get legal and personal equality. And further, thank you so much for this episode. I just discovered your channel. I'm glad you found my channel. Good to have you here tonight. You had some really great insights into this issue through your job as a special needs teacher. Yes, this has been a wonderful one. So it's I think we are done for today. And before we go. Is there anything you wish to say to my audience tonight?
Well, just to love and respect each other, and we are all humans. Yeah.
Exactly. And these guys have been here all along tonight, as per usual. But now, well, we will be going.